Hector grew up in a neighborhood where it was very normal to sell drugs, to be in a gang. He went into the military. He was able to connect with other men who also were military trained, and together they would also train those who were the hitmen. They taught them how to be better killers. And these were people who were being paid to go to other countries, to other places, to kill other people. And he was the one teaching them how to execute it and do it well.
We actually spent an evening with one of the indigenous groups that was forced out of the mountains by the Colombian rebels. And they killed their leader. And they have a group of 7 families that are all related, and they all are forced into this 2-room structure that some would call a house here in Armenia, with 1 bathroom, 40 people that live in this 2-room house. They sleep on the ground. They're, it's very raw, very raw.
Tiffany's sharing that a typical day for her is not very easy, but she wakes up and she gets ready for her day to go on the streets and to offer her body for sex in exchange for money so that she can pay for her daily necessities to feed herself. It's not easy to live the life that they live, where they have to get up every day and know that they have to go on the street and wait for clients to come. And when they come, they give them the money and they make requests for things to be done to them. And there's a lot of times where they're not really comfortable with having to do that, but they do it because they need the money. They need to support themselves, and it's not something that they want to do, but it's basically a survival of the fittest mode.
I look around Armenia and I see hopelessness. I see violence, drug addiction, anger. And this is not the vision of the Lord for this city. Do you believe the Lord has a better vision for the city? Amen. And how is He going to do it? How will the Lord's vision come to pass? You are the answer to your city.
So they came to the church, and we did art with them, and we loved on them, and we played with the kids, and we didn't shove religion down their throat. We just loved on them. And one of our local missionaries, Jennifer, she spends time with them. She sees them every week, and she is very intentional about building up trust and community with them.
I bought food for them. I pray for them. I show my love. And I started with the friendship.
The Lord assigned us here to your city. We began to have visions of Armenia and what the Lord wanted to do right here. And He began to put in our hearts a love for this city.
So taking the photos of the prostitute women at the finca, it was a whirlwind. Some of them would be reluctant, but we would encourage them. They'd say, no, I'm ugly, or I'm not beautiful, and we would just encourage them, just saying, no, you're awesome, you're so beautiful. We treat them as something to be valued, and I think that speaks volumes of just God's love and the message that the gospel brings.
So Nicole said she felt just a little bit of a lift of liberation, especially when we wrote down like our darkest memories. And they were able to burn it.
This exercise we did with burning the paper, this was something to protect your heart. Getting the pain, the unforgiveness out.
This is the first time for the both of them that they've ever been invited to anything at all to talk about God, to talk about the love of the Father, to talk about how He pursues them and how He's fearfully and wonderfully made them, and He loves them just as they are right now and is waiting for them to turn around and say, I'm ready to come home. They've never have been received in such a way. They are shunned all the time, so that opened up their heart even more towards listening to the message of who Christ truly is.
We spent time in a foundation for addicts. And we look in the eyes of so many men and women who are tormented and controlled by drug addiction. And we preach the gospel of deliverance to them.
So after all of that happened in Hector's life, that is when God began to reveal Himself to him. He began to go to church. His family slowly got restored. And then from there is where his journey begins on being a missionary and going out and serving those who are living the lifestyle that he did live. And so now he is a voice of God for the lost and broken.
We spend time in the streets of Armenia, working projects with art, music, different activities, and preaching the gospel.
Celebrating that neighborhood and the people there, you can just tell that it really blessed them. They were just enamored with everything going on there. It seemed like the entire neighborhood came out. And there was just so much laughter and joy, and it felt like it was just a neighborhood block party. It didn't feel like there was crime and drugs all around us, or there was just this light about this place, and the darkness didn't seem like it could ever touch.
The Lord is calling us to give our lives away. There are those dying and hurting that need you. The Son of Man has come to seek and to save the lost. Today He is still seeking and saving. In partnership with us. With you. You do the seeking, and He'll do the saving.
Man, that's beautiful. When God comes and filters into His people and the church comes alive. Man, that's what, they don't need to remember our names. They just need to know that they've had an encounter with the living God, and it's changed their life, their city, their families. It's brought restoration to their homes and healing to their bodies. Man, that's what we live for. We want to show them love in every way possible. And it's incredible. It's an honor to walk in this city and walk with these people, that I call family, Evoke Ministries.